all are fine. Today we are going to have a play titled The Hour of Truth, written by Percival Wilde, an American playwright. See, a briefing of this play is already given to you, and I think that you all have gone through it and understood. Now, as we all know, this play is all set at Baldwin's. So, the family background is given, and in the beginning, from this dialogue of characters, we see they all are restless. Robert Baldwin has not yet reached. So, children and wife, they all are restless. They are anxiously waiting for their father to come. So that is clear in the beginning, right? So now, here, when the curtain rises, we see mother and children. The dialogue that we see in the beginning, just you have this dialogue, look at your textbook. Martha begins, "It's time he was home." See, Evie, daughter, also agrees to this. "Yes, mother." Then Martha, "I do hope he hasn't forgotten his umbrella. He has such a habit of leaving it behind him." Now here we see they all are just going to think why their father, why Robert Baldwin hasn't come yet. Maybe because of the rain. So all these thoughts that we can see from here. Now you can just read all these dialogues. John also John is son to Baldwin. So mother asked John to go and close the windows of father's room. That is because you all know sometimes when it rains heavily, it may have some issues. So that is why mother wants son to go and close the windows of his room. Then when they were having these communications with each other, rightly John and Evie ask mother, because they got this news from the bank, from the newspaper. Actually, Gresham has been arrested. Gresham is the president of the bank where Robert Baldwin, their father, is working. So they doubt Robert Baldwin, their father, also may have some connection with this incident, because Gresham and Robert Baldwin were very close friends. So Baldwin's family is in a confused state of mind. His children Evie and John are worried at the newspaper reports which suspect indirect involvement of Baldwin along with Mr. Gresham in the bank scam. His wife Martha tries to defend her husband and reveals her lack of knowledge in Baldwin's business of affairs. That is their doubt. So they want to ask their mother about it, so that we can see while reading these dialogues. Now see, mother tries to argue with their children. She states that there is nothing to be doubted. Her dialogue, see, for example, actually mother speaks that page number 52, Martha, he was acting under Mr. Gresham's orders. So father was only following the words of Gresham. and father will never do anything more than. So that actually the words of Martha, right? Then Evie and John, they were having discussions over it. Now we see here they want to get whether their father has any type of connection with this incident, arrest incident, right? So even John states that nobody else will have a picture about this incident other than their father, because Gresham and Robert Baldwin were very close. So that is the reason. So here he states, even John speaks about he had met the cashier of the bank, page number 52, Donovan. John speaks, yes, Donovan, I saw him at the athletic club, and he even confirmed that he didn't have any idea about it, right? So actually everything was all of a sudden, right? So now the curiosity, right, anxiety, all these concerns also, all these things actually we see here. Now father comes, right? When what happens, you see, mother receives father. After Robert Baldwin reached his house, his son John asked Robert Baldwin, page number 54, well, Dad, don't you think it's about time you told us something? So John wanted his father to speak all these things because John already was restless or totally disturbed to hear from others, from the people around him, speaking bad things about Robert Baldwin, because as he is the secretary to Gresham, people speak, there are these types of rumors, right? Gresham and Robert Baldwin being very close friends, he also, Robert Baldwin, his father, may also have direct connection with this incident. People think this way because without Robert Baldwin's knowledge, Gresham won't do this thing. So that is why John is asking all these things to his father. Okay, people are speaking rotten things. When Robert Baldwin got this situation, he reacts, why you are not arguing with these people? So John here speaks, I don't have knowledge about it. Here Robert Baldwin asks, page number 54 again, Baldwin to John, to his son, did you have to know? Wasn't it enough that you knew your father? See, why you didn't try to know more about your father? Isn't it enough? So these words actually, we all know that father wanted to speak that he will never do anything wrong because his life is open to all. Even he wanted his son to notice these types of characteristic features from his father, right? So why you haven't learned about your father up to this time? Got it? So this way father speaks. Now Baldwin speaks. It was only a day before the smash up. Smash up means this tragedy, bank's closure, right? Immediately after this incident, bank was closed. So the smash up here meaning this tragedy. That I found out what Gresham was doing, and I told him he would have to make good. He said he couldn't. So father here says to John that only before that day means he didn't have information about it. Robert Baldwin didn't have any information about it. Only day, just before that day of this incident, he knew. Suddenly, he wanted Gresham to close the bank. I told him he would have to do the best he could, and first step would be to close the bank, right? But he didn't. Then Martha here speaks, but he did it because from the newspaper they all could read that this bank was closed, right? But Baldwin here says, I made him do it. That means father ordered to close the bank, right? Then Evie, daughter, says the papers didn't mention all these things. Here Baldwin speaks again. I didn't think it was necessary to tell them because he wanted everything will be cleared soon because the trial is going to take place. So father wanted to speak everything in this time, right? So he doesn't want to speak all these things to papers, right? So now we see situation is going like this. Baldwin, as we said, Baldwin speaks that everything will be clear tomorrow, right? Today Gresham sent for me. The trial begins in 24 hours. Robert Baldwin mentioned about this trial. John speaks this way. Oh, now Gresham wanted you only to save his life. That means father is going to save him, right? Then how wanted you to perjure? The word perjure, you all know, speak false, right? Now this is what actually we see Baldwin's words. That wouldn't be necessary, John. I don't want to speak anything, right? He just wanted me to have an attack of poor memory. What actually Gresham wanted Robert Baldwin to do. See, when questions are asked as a witness, he will be summoned to the court, and they may ask these types of questions, right? So this time, Robert Baldwin has to act this way. He won't remember anything, right? So if I tell all I know, John Gresham will go to jail. No power on earth can save him from it. But he wants me to forget, right? Just the essential things. When they question me, I can answer, I don't remember. So I don't remember. These three words Robert Baldwin has to speak when questions are asked to him, right? They can't prove I do remember, and there you are. Then John, oh, it would be a lie than that. So having all these types of details with you, already you have got all these things. Now you speak these words, that is, I don't remember. Surely it is a lie. Then Baldwin smiles. Of course, but it has done. See, of course, but it is done every day, right? They couldn't touch me any more than they could convict him, right? So anyway, all these things are usually happening, right? They are not going to do any harm towards me, right? Then Martha, querying, right? How dared he ask such a thing? So Gresham, how dared him? How was he asking this way? All these things. Now, Evie, what do you say, father? Then Baldwin smiles. Well, son, what would you have said? Here, a type of discussion, father and son. Baldwin asked John, how will he behave in this situation? Now, John promptly responds, I would have told him to go to the devil. That means he will never show mercy to such people. Baldwin speaks that he also did. Then Baldwin states about the relationship with his friend Gresham. Here we see page number 55. Baldwin speaks. There wasn't much to say, you see. He wasn't surprised. He's known me for 35 years. And well, see, they had a very close relationship. See, for more than 35 years, a long time, right? So, if it had been anybody else, I would have struck him across the face. But John Gresham and I were boys together. We worked side by side, and I have been in his employ ever since he started in for himself. So, we all know how they were closely connected with each other, right? Now, when he was stating this situation, Robert Baldwin spoke. He wouldn't have offered me money. So John interrupts. Offered you money, Dad? So this situation now changes, right? Baldwin, yes, $100,000. So Robert Baldwin spoke. His friend Gresham had offered him $100,000 for saving his life. Now Baldwin, I have got only a few years to live, but I will live those as I have lived the rest of my life. I will go to my grave clean. For Robert Baldwin, this is not deserving. Actually, this money is not deserving to him. So he wanted to refuse it. His words state that he is truthful and honest. He even wanted to go to his grave clean. He has lived that way and he wanted to live in future. Right. So this character of Baldwin is revealed here by reading these lines. Then discussion continues. Martha just praises her husband Robert Baldwin. He put it aside for me without anybody knowing it. It is out of his private fortune, he says. It's not the depositor's money, as if that made any difference. Now Baldwin gave this words, this money. He told me, Gresham told me that money is his private money, Gresham's private money, and don't be confused or worried about it. You can have this. Okay, so it is, in other words, it is a bribe. To Baldwin, it is a bribe. So he wanted to refuse it. But situation changes. Now onwards. Children and mother, soon after they heard this news of offering this much money, $100,000, they wanted Robert Baldwin to accept it. So they all are justifying, right? They all are giving reasons. Now their attitude towards Gresham also slowly changes. That we see by reading these dialogues, right? Page number 57. A compliment. Suppose you don't receive this money, that is a compliment which cost you $100,000. Page number 57. John's words. So now you are sacrificing. You wanted to prove you are honest. You wanted to prove your truth. Rejecting this offer means that costs you $100,000. Then Martha also says, will the depositors lose much? Then why are you worrying? So depositors are not going to lose their money. Then why are you worrying all these things? Right. Now John wanted from his father to state what crime has Gresham committed. Now Baldwin says this is a crime. See, John's words, he wanted to argue with his father. When depositors are not going to lose any of their money, it cannot be treated as a mistake. Okay, but to father, it is a crime. Gresham had used depositors' money for some other purpose without their consent. That means it's a crime, even though they are not going to lose their money. So here you all have to read this difference. Father is representing this old generation of truth and honest, right? John, he represents the present generation who value money. They are not bothered about how they are earning it. So this difference we have to analyze. Okay, now here you have to read all these dialogues. John, Martha, Evie. Right. They all are speaking to John Baldwin for accepting this bribe money. Even Martha states that after you lost this job in this bank, how are you going to meet your ends, meeting your expense? So, if you accept this money offered by Gresham, you can start your own business. So, these types of justifications we can see from these dialogues, right? Then page number 59, Martha's words. You said, Martha, may our son always live up to the name which we have given him. Do you remember that? See, Martha, through these words, makes her husband, Robert Baldwin, remember the situation when John was taken for baptism. You all know baptism ceremony. We all see the changing behavior or the attitude of family members, except Robert Baldwin. Others are changing their words. Till then, they all opposed Gresham. They were speaking against him. But now, when they heard that John Gresham had offered Robert Baldwin this lump sum money, $100,000, this is a situation where they all start changing their attitude. Here we see Martha, John and Evie, they all are trying to make Robert Baldwin accept this money. For this they are giving number of justifications. John says that Gresham will be always owed to you. He will show you gratitude for this. So try to save his life by accepting this money. So all these words we all have to understand that Baldwin was forced by the rest of the family members to accept this bribe. Now this is clear to Robert Baldwin, and he speaks this way. Page number 62, Baldwin. God knows I never thought this day would come. I know no matter how you try to excuse it, I know that if I take this money, I do a dishonorable thing. And you know it. You, all of you come, admit it. Now, nobody response. See, Baldwin continues, but amongst ourselves, John, whatever we are to the world, let us be honest with each other. The four of us, well, his glance now goes to all other members. Now he speaks, shams, liars, hypocrites, thieves, and I know better than any of you. We have seen our souls naked, and they sting to Almighty. Well, why don't you answer me? Now, Martha, it's not wrong, Robert. Why are you speaking these words? You are not doing anything wrong. Again, she wants to speak. This is not at all a wrong thing. But as far as Baldwin is concerned, this is a great sin, right? So he is not ready to accept this bribe. See, when they were having this discussion, they could watch somebody is approaching their house. It was Marshall. Marshall is the president of the Third National, a superior bank. Now he reaches. The moment Martha notices Marshall, she wanted to leave this space. Here Marshall says, page number 64, oh, you needn't go on my account. You can hear what I have to say. That means he came here to give them a pleasant news. He continues, Marshall, I wouldn't say if I didn't. I was in to see Gresham this afternoon. He told me about the offer he had made you, but he knew that no amount of money would make you do something you thought wrong, Baldwin. He paid you the supreme compliment. Rather than go to trial with you to testify against him, he confessed. So Marshall convinces Baldwin that his friend Gresham had confessed. You all know confession means agreeing mistake. Now, after got all these details from Gresham, Marshall understood Robert Baldwin's honesty. He cannot be changed. Robert Baldwin cannot be changed. His thought with this offer. So that is clear from his talk with Gresham. So here Marshall came to appreciate Robert Baldwin. He offered him high position in this bank, Third National. That is, in other sense, it is a promotion. So here we all have to think that in the end of the play, Robert Baldwin is promoted for his rightful behavior. So that is, good is rewarded. Okay, then bad is punished. Got it? So this is what actually we see in the end. Now, this is the end of the play. What actually we have to understand from this play is this character, Robert Baldwin, the protagonist of the play, he stood for truth and honesty. So even though the rest of the family members were forcing him to accept the money, that he rejected, Robert Baldwin rejected. That shows that he is not ready to accept anything which is not deserving to him. So it is a sign of truth and honesty. Now we have to read and understand this message, right? We have to answer all the questions given that we will do in the next class.